indeed grateful that the Ministry of Information and National Guidance is teaming with the Inspectorate of Government to push the agenda of kicking corruption and bad governance out of Uganda. We did pay a courtesy call to the minister, and we discussed a lot of things, and we agreed, the minister agreed to support our whole effort through the media and any other activities. We are grateful for that. We also recently met the Secretary to Cabinet and Head of Public Service, Mrs. Lucy Nachobe, and we explained to her that in the past year, we've been mobilizing the whole country, the entire population, to fight corruption. But now we are going to the actual play field of corruption, which is the public service, because that's where it all happens. And Madame Nachobe also was very enthusiastic. And so we are really grateful that we are working together with the entire government. Dear listeners and viewers, the Inspectorate of Government is mandated under the Constitution of Uganda to perform three main functions. The first function, which is very well known, is the anti-corruption function. The second function is enforcement of the leadership code function, and this is where the requirement to declare income, assets, and liability falls. And the third function is the ombuds function, and this is the one that I want to talk about today. It is also the least known in Uganda, but equally important because it is a function that holds government and government officials accountable directly to the people of Uganda through monitoring the quality of service that government officials provide to the citizens and even to the government employees themselves. So under the ombudsman function is where fair, efficient, good governance and good quality service delivery are housed. So in recognizing this cardinal role of governments all over the world, the United Nations General Assembly, under Resolution 72/186 of December 2017, the United Nations adopted the International Ombuds Day and declared that it would be commemorated every second Thursday of October all over the world. And so tomorrow, the 12th of October 2023, being the second Thursday of this year, Uganda will join the rest of the world to commemorate this year's Ombuds Day under the theme Raising Citizens' Awareness of the Ombuds' Role for Quality Service Delivery. Under the Ombuds function, the government appoints an ombudsman who, in the case of Uganda, also doubles as the Inspector General of Government. An ombudsman is a public official appointed by government whose function is to investigate grievances or complaints raised by citizens regarding maladministration of the authority, but with significant degree of independence. Maladministration refers to the inefficient and dishonest management or administration or the actions of a government body that cause injustice, especially to employees and the public at large. For example, delayed action, no action, or wrong action. You go to the Ministry of Lands, you want to get your title, but it takes you a whole year to get your title. When you come, you find a court, but the officer is not there. Then when he's there, he says, come tomorrow. And when you come tomorrow, he dodges you until you have to cough some money. That kind of behavior is not acceptable, and the public should not accept it. So the commonest form of maladministration include, among others, non-payment of salaries and other benefits, delay of service delivery, victimization and discrimination at places of work, misuse of public property, reporting late for work, abusive or intimidating behavior or oppression at the place of work. This is for government employees. Even government employees should not accept to be mistreated by their bosses. Under the ombudsman function, they have the right to be respected by their bosses, even at the place of work. There must be mutual respect. Absenteeism is not allowed, indecent dressing, drunkenness while on duty, and even sexual harassment. All those should be reported by public officers to the ombudsman. In other words, if there are gross lapses in the functioning of public administration, the citizens, as well as public or government employees, have the option to lodge complaints against the concerned public officers. The ombudsman function of the Inspectorate of Government is embedded in Article 225 of the Constitution of Uganda and Section 8 of the Inspectorate of Government Inspectorate of Government Act. And the main functions are to promote and foster strict adherence to the rule of law and principles of natural justice in administration, to promote fair, efficient, and good governance in public office. And where they are lacking, the ombudsman or ombudswoman, in the case of Uganda today, has the responsibility to investigate any act, any omission, even advice, even decision, even a recommendation made by a public officer. All those actions or non-actions under the ombudsman function are under the scrutiny of the ombudsman, or in the case of Uganda, who also doubles as the Inspector General of Government. So through the ombudsman function, the Inspectorate of Government monitors the quality of service rendered by government to the public. People need to know we are here to shout out loud to all Ugandans, including public servants, that they are entitled to good quality service, and it must be served with respect. People need to know that whoever is holding public office does so on behalf and in the interest of the people, and they are paid by the people to hold that office. So the people, the taxpayers who pay public servants' salaries and benefits, must be given the service they deserve. The people are the bosses, and they must be served with respect, efficiently, and they must be given quality service. The IGG, who is also the ombudsman, is empowered under the law to make sanctions against offenders who do not live up to their expectations. The ombudsman function promotes a total mindset change, where public officials must acknowledge that they are paid salaries by taxpayers. Therefore, taxpayers expect to be served diligently and with respect. I'm repeating this because I want it to sink into the minds of everybody that taxpayers are entitled. It's not a favor. they are entitled to good quality service with respect. People go to police, they think that they bow down, they go even fearing to speak to a policeman. The policeman is there to serve you, and he's paid to serve you, not to lord it over you. Even within government circles, bosses mistreat their staff by maliciously taking them off the payroll and hiring unqualified staff and promoting them over or at the expense of some old or qualified staff. Some demand favors like sex or money before they treat their staff fairly. All this kind of selective administration is a violation of the principle of integrity. If the public officials and citizens adhere to the rule of law, there will be efficient service delivery in this country. The Office of the Ombudsman, the IGG, will be mobilizing the whole country to say no to poor service delivery, because quality service delivery is a right, not a favor to the public, and fair treatment of all government officials is also a right. It is not a favor. To further emphasize the Ombudsman function, the Inspectorate of Government, in its strategic plan of 21 to 25, under Strategic Objective 3, which is to promote adherence to the rule of law in public offices, we have designed interventions aimed at achieving this objective. And these interventions include to improve systems, procedures, practices in high-risk ministries, departments and agencies, as well as in local governments, to strengthen the Ombudsman investigations in ministries, departments and agencies of government, as well as local government, to improve Ombudsman complaint handling systems in all government space, and to increase public awareness of the Ombudsman function of the IG. The work of an Ombudsman is particularly important because it has a strong bearing on service delivery and reduction of corruption and poor service delivery. Behind every case of corruption, there is a maladministration matter. Therefore, the Ombudsman protects the aggrieved people against powerful, in quotes, government officials, since there are already designed systems to address issues between the parties. Some of the Ombudsman investigations that have been undertaken, this is a function that has been sort of lying low because we focus so much on the overt corruption. But any act that is dishonest, that is that lacks integrity, is a corruption matter, and so the Ombudsman function also looks at the other overt. Is it covert or overt? The under one, covert. Covert. The covert acts of corruption, as opposed to the overt acts of corruption, which everybody is familiar with. Ombudsman issues are covert actions of corruption. During the financial year 2022 to 23, the Inspectorate of Government received over 5,000 complaints of ombudsman nature from ministries of government, agencies and departments, as well as local government. 1 year alone, we received over 5,000 complaints of ombudsman nature. This means that there's a lot of maladministration within government between bosses and the staff they supervise at different levels, and even among staff themselves. And according to the Inspectorate of Government statistics, the most frequent ombudsman cases resolve in ministries, departments, and agencies, which included employment disputes at 36%, while non-payment of salaries and other benefits were at 29%. Of the 5,000, 29% were about disputes of salaries, where bosses just take off somebody from the payroll, especially in the Ministry of Education. Teachers are just taken off from the payroll because you wouldn't give in to the demands of the headmaster or to the demands of the CEO. You didn't pay what you should have paid to the District Service Commission, or you came in through merit, and the one who was favored by the chairman of the District Service Commission didn't get a job, and you just get taken off the payroll. We have a lot of complaints about that. Majority of cases in local governments also relate to non-payment of salaries and other benefits, 33% of those. Employment disputes, 23%. Abuse of authority, 12%. And both mismanagement and victimization at 7%. An analysis of these statistics show that employment disputes and non-payment disputes comprise the biggest form of maladministration in MDAs and local government. So, to enforce the ombudsman role, the Inspectorate of Government has designed interventions in line with the third objective of our strategic plan for 2021 to 2025. And these interventions include improving systems, procedures, and practices, strengthen ombudsman investigation, strengthening systems and mechanisms for management of ombudsman complaints, and especially increasing public awareness of the ombuds function. Now, where and how does a citizen who has suffered an administrative injustice report? The citizen or worker, public employee, who has suffered an administrative injustice or who in any way is dissatisfied with the conduct of a public official in execution of his or her duty can report to the Inspectorate of Government headquarters, which is located at Jubilee House on Parliament Avenue, or to any or the nearest of our regional offices, and we have 16 of them in Kampala, Mukono, Jinja, Arua, Soroti, Gulu, Moyo, Moroto, Mbarara, Fort Poto, Masaka, Kabale, Tororo, Mbarara, Lira, and Hoima. Fellow countrymen, don't allow office bearers to mistreat you or to make you suffer when you should be rightly served. The citizen can also contact the Inspectorate of Government by telephone through the IG hotlines. I will request the press, the TVs, please, to show these numbers on your screen. You will get a copy. Do you have enough copies, Monina? You will get a copy of this, and it's on page 5. Please read and display them, the hotlines. But you can also send email to pr@igg.go.ug or a WhatsApp number 070-77 22146. Also YouTube, Inspectorate of Government. Finally, fellow countrymen, I invite all Ugandans, each one of you in your own space, whether you are in your garden, whether you are in your office, in your shop, on your border, whether you are sweeping public roads or manning your stall in the market, wherever you are, I invite you to join the whole world tomorrow, the 12th of October, to commemorate the Ombuds Day with determination to expose people in government who abuse public offices by not providing you with the quality service that you deserve. I've already given examples of people looking for land titles, looking for passports, looking for national identification cards, whatever service you are supposed to get in this country at the police or anywhere. We should demand quality service and with respect. With those words, I'm happy to invite the whole country to focus on the theme of the ombudsman function, which is raising citizen awareness on this day. I thank you very much for your attention, and I will take some questions at this point.